McClure in California. Well, if Hillary Clinton did win the White House in 2008, that would make 24 consecutive years of White House control under either a Clinton or a Bush. My next guest says, that's a pretty bad idea. He is James Burkee. He's assistant professor of history over at Concordia University Wisconsin and co-founder of Americans for Responsibility in Washington. And Professor, the intriguing take from your column was that you weren't taking sides here. It was just a matter that we deplete the pool when we rely on lineage, right?
Absolutely, Neil. Thanks, and good afternoon. You use the words common sense on your program and on your website, and it doesn't take a political historian or a PhD to understand that if there's a Clinton in the White House in 2009, and here we've got talk of a Jeb Bush candidacy in 2012 or 2016, not only do we face the prospect of 3 decades of rule under the same families, but much of the same supporting staff. We already see Terry McAuliffe heading the Clinton campaign. I wonder if in 2012 or 2016 we'd see a Karl Rove running a Jeb Bush campaign. And these characters engender such hostility, such automatic hostility, that I think it makes it much less likely, even if they were to win, that they win with a kind of margin that allows for the political capital that we need in a president who's going to tackle the really major issues that are facing us.
All right, but you mentioned, it's a very good point, Professor, and that is that, those who come into office with a large mandate can affect and do more than those who do not. But, of course, Harry Truman didn't exactly get a huge mandate, but I think now history will say he was a fairly effective president.
Sure, history can judge Truman that way. But if you look back historically at the other presidents I look at who inherited their office, John Quincy Adams, Benjamin Harrison, and even George W. Bush. These are presidents who automatically engendered an extra degree of hostility. And that's because America is by and large a meritocracy. We appreciate people who rise to the surface of their own volition, and we have a natural kind of knee-jerk reaction against aristocrats. Maybe it's only that extra 4 or 5% margin that leads to a slightly less popular president, but in the case of Adams, Harrison, and George W. Bush, in all 3 instances, you have presidents who came in with maybe bare pluralities or at best bare majority
All right, but
margins.
if Hillary Clinton were to be the Democratic nominee and things were so sour in the country in 2008 that she chalks up a huge victory on Election Day, would all that be a moot point?
It might be, but I think that's highly unlikely given historical precedent here. We already have polls that show that 4 out of 10 Americans say that they wouldn't vote for Hillary under any circumstance. And I think that's highly problematic because given the unique circumstances, the situations we're facing in 2009 with soaring budget deficits, with entitlement reform, baby boomers retiring, the war on terror, and more.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to have more of the same, and that's political partisanship.
Alrighty. Professor, thank you very much. Very interesting read. Well, do you want to be president? Word is you better be able